Hi guys, today I want to talk about Jimmy Kimmel's suspension and its timeline on CNN was just posted. One of the interesting thing, I mean, you can see on Thursday, July 17th, CBS announced the cancellation of the Late Show with Stephen Colbert, and then July 22nd, Trump posted on Truth Social that Jimmy Kimmel is next, and then Donald Trump posted another tweet, um, and then if you keep going, Thursday, July 24th, the pending merger between Paramount Global and CBS parent company Skydance Media was formally approved by the Trump administration. Then on Wednesday, August 6th, Trump made similar remarks about Kimmel when responding to a reporter question in early August. Then Monday, September 15, day after suspected assassin Tyler Robinson was taken into custody by law enforcement. Um, Everybody know that Jimmy Kimmel made some comments that caused him, to lose his job. Now, one of the things which is interesting, all these people are criticizing and they're upset about the FCC chairman threatening immediate action against Jimmy Kimmel, ABC, and Disney for deliberately misleading the public by claiming Charlie Kirk assassin was a MAGA conservative. Remember this that back in 2021, Twitter permanently suspended President Trump, uh, risk of further incitement of violence, and then nobody at that point, like was really saying, "Oh, that's not fair." I mean, definitely the conservative party and the followers of Trump did criticize that, but other side never said, we shouldn't be removing the president of the United States from Twitter. Like that's very insulting. And he didn't really made a big fuss about it. He made his own platform and started using Truth Social. But if you look here, they're all complaining about it. Nobody saying anything. How unfair was that at that time? So one thing, if you remember, like I'm watching Jimmy Kimmel from like almost like longest time, 2008 or 9. I'm watching him, and he came. It was always funny, and I loved him at the time. And then in 2016, he changed his stance as soon as we had a new president, which is President Donald Trump. And I don't understand, like suddenly how from a comedian he become always like a political commentator. Now he was always like that, but initially because it was a president President Obama was in the office, so he wasn't really criticizing government. He was just being funny and making comedy show. After President Obama's gone and Trump came, he become very critical of President Trump. And no matter how good of a task President has done, how good of a job he has done, there is never I see a day where he praise something good about President Trump. So technically, he just turned into misleading people that everything is bad about this other guy. Like, how in the world, as a comedian, you supposed to be funny, and yes, you can be sarcastic, but every day, these guys made their money and kept their channel, on air by criticizing President Trump, like every day, every day, every day, and they would make fun of him every day. And at the same time, we have Trevor Noah, who basically, said the same things every day, and he made his money with by criticizing the current president at the time. But when president is gone, then nothing you see about Biden. They never said anything about him, like which is critical of him. Nothing. Everything was so good at that point because it was their favorite president. So they become, they took side, which is fine. Now if they are being restricted from on air, they're complaining about freedom of speech. But when did you criticize Twitter at that time that why did they remove our president who was the president of the country? The companies are running here and they're removing the president of the country from their platform. That's very insulting. So just want to share this news that how they're playing this game. When it happens to them, it's wrong, but when it happens to others, right? So I think that's something we have to review, how we want to play this game. Do we really want to allow everyone to say what they want? And if that's fine, which I agree, people have First Amendment right, freedom of speech is important, and everybody should be able to say what they want. But at the same time, do you want to mislead people by lying about things and fooling them just because you have so many followers? I think that's also something government need to look into. Do you want to really allow somebody with that many followers to come up with any fake news and mislead people? That's very important because that is actually back to the same theory. Like Twitter was saying that president can cause incitement in the country. That's why they feel him that, oh, he's a risk. Okay, so don't you think that a comedian who is basically misleading millions of people who are watching cable news, you're misleading them with their fake news. And that's something very important to know, because you get these licenses in order to run those programs, and you are regulated. You cannot just say anything you like. So that's something we need to discuss, why, somebody who has a lot of followers can say anything they want, and they can, because we have a freedom of speech. But at the same time, then you should allow others to be able to say what they want. And you support the stance of Twitter removing President Trump. So that's something we need to look into. Thank you for watching the video.